Hello and welcome back to another episode. This time I'll be playing the Turian Sentinel. Stronghold package. I'm going back to the Talon because I'm feeling brave. I believe I can still mail slot with the Talon, but we'll see. Because I'm Turian, I can still get the 200% power recharge even with the heavier gun. 3 points in fitness, mainly because I don't have to worry too much about durability courtesy of attack armor. Attack armor spec to minimize cooldowns and increase damage. I'm going to be using Warp primarily as my main damage source. I'll be using that against anything with armors, barriers, and health. And then I'll be using Overload against groups of synthetics because I've got the chain overload and anything with shields. And that should give me pretty spammable abilities that are able to deal with just about any particular defenses. But let's get this one rolling. That's fine, you can be a level 1. I don't mind. Generally speaking, you don't want to play Silver on a level 1. It's not a matter of player ability all that much. Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't even have a high level gun. Although the M11 Wraith is a pretty incredible piece of work. And he does have the Juggernaut Shield 5. I think the M11 Wraith is one of the highest hit, or the hardest hitting guns in the game, which should never be underestimated. But he's not going to have the utility that he might need. But we'll see. Maybe he'll surprise me. And now the idea with the way I've set this build up is to keep tech armor active and hang out more or less behind cover. And like I said, I'll be spamming Warp against almost everything. Well, Overload against synthetic enemies and shielded enemies, and Warp against everything else. The Warp can actually detonate tech bursts, but I think it would be a better use of my time to throw another Overload on a shield target. Alright. And we have Geth. So I'll be using a lot of overloads. I'll still use Warp against armored opponents. It's just better. But Overload works just fine against Geth once their shields are down. Except for the ones that have armor, of course. It also staggers them, which is nice. And it detonates all of the tech bursts, it just doesn't detonate Warp. Alright. So that's a thing. So now one of the things about Turians is they don't have a cover-to-cover role. They're more durable, they can sprint, they can crouch, they can use normal cover, but they don't have dodge rolls, which can be a little disorienting if you rely on dodge rolls for any kind of mobility. So do keep that in mind if you're playing a Turian. But that said, they do get some extra shields and health to compensate, and they generally get bonuses to weapon weight. They definitely tried to make the Turians feel like fighters. And on a side note, I really do like the way that tech armor actually looks. And head up. I got a couple more bounces on those hunters. I should be able to take out their shields. There we go, there's one. Right. Now, what I should be doing right now is actually trying to get these artifacts, but the team seems to be on the ball with it. and I was keeping a very large pile of Geth occupied. So I was still kind of helping, just maybe not ideally. Keeping the reinforcements away from where the action is still pretty useful. And we had people who were taking care of the objective anyway, so it kind of worked out. And that's my excuse. I was still helping the team. And that's the part that matters. So one of the nicer parts about the this Sentinel is this was actually how I played through on the harder difficulty levels in single player the first time I was playing through on that difficulty. I was playing as a Sentinel and essentially doing exactly what I'm doing now. Overload for shields and Geth that have health bars, and warp for everything else, which worked out remarkably well. All inspired by Miranda. I noticed that as far as wizard companions goes, or wizard's companions go, she was quite a bit more useful than the rest. And the pyro is out of shields. We get at him with the warp. You can see pretty clearly. It's over there. Stop! 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 Settle down, silly robots. There. Oh, nice. Somebody threw an AoE fire primer, and so I just detonated a bunch of fire explosions. Get wrecked. I need this pyro to lose his shields, so I can do this. Oh yeah. Hard times. But you see how it chains and staggers all the synthetic enemies. Overload is fantastic at dealing with Geth. Honestly, that Krogan had no business being down there. Like, I had that very much under control. I can fight Geth all day if I get overloads. And there, I don't know if I've covered that before, but when a stealth enemy gets hit, they get revealed briefly. And so one thing you can actually do is fire at them with your weapon. And as long as your weapon doesn't have too much recoil, you can immediately hit a power, and the power will hit the stealth enemy. So, yeah, if I can actually hit the target, that'll work out a lot better. But you can hit with your gun and then a power, and if you're using something like Overload, it does enough damage that it knocks out their shields immediately. And now I guess I just can't do anything? Hold on. Something's weird. I can't activate any powers, and I can't fire my gun. So I have no idea what's going on. I can run around apparently. This is odd. Other people do not appear to have the same problem. What the fuck? Well, I think I might just call this one early. You can see how the build works, and it works fairly well. Especially, I got lucky and got Geth. I can melee. Come on. Doing this then. All I've got is melee, so I can make the most of it. Alright. Meta-gel myself and see if stuff is fixed now. Alright, so that worked. Alright, cool. Now I can use my powers. And presumably, also my gun. Excellent. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. That was weird. That was the first. Yeah, I do not even understand what happened there. I just lost my trigger, or my ability to fire, and my ability to use powers, which that kind of ruins just about everybody, really. Except maybe the Krogan Warlord. Probably be fine with it. Yeah, I forgot I don't have a dodge roll because I'm a Turian. What I do have, a big chunk of health. So the Volus there probably wants to stand behind me. Little friends get scared by big things, usually. Which makes sense, big things are scary. This Prime's got a bad day. And I think I've said it before, but when the bomber flies over you dropping bombs, don't run the same direction it's going. Run the other way. Serve you a lot better running the other way. Run through them. Ah, really? Hosting player left? That's frustrating. That was like the end of the wave, too.
We need you to take back this location. Area is uncontrolled. Lock it down.
That was the, yeah, that was the Krogan that left. He was the host. It's alright. I believe I've said it before, but because I have a good internet connection, generally speaking, I end up being the host. I guess the game does some evaluation. And, I very often end up the host on a migration. I'm tired of these rockets. Fuck. Stop. Yeah, the little friend detonated combo off. Nice. Just handle that problem real quick. And get the prime off somewhere. Even though this thing behaves like a shotgun, it has some pretty serious range to it. Our Batarian handled the Geth Prime. It's good news. Isn't new. If he wants to prime fiery detonations, I'll detonate them all day. I do not mind that at all. It's the one real disadvantage to playing this over other builds, is that detonating powers and whatnot is difficult by myself. But because I can detonate any power, it'd be really handy if someone else wants to prime them for me. Looks like a prime. I think it is a prime. Oh my god, fucking pyros. There. Handled that. Oh hey, we have our own Geth now. And I forget what this aura is. I think it's a team damage bonus. Something like that. And you can see with one overload I detonated 3 fiery explosions. Get racked on. Man, that was beautiful.
Wounded! Shields down!
And the Anarchist Juggernaut has the M7 Lancer. I'm lucky. I think if I had those, creating this series would be hard. If I had the Juggernaut and the Lancer. And it's basically everything that I really want to unlock left. There's a few other things I think will be fun that I'll probably get along the way. But those are the two that I really want. Alright, and the extraction point is here-ish. It's actually, yeah, right there. So, by being here, I open up the possibility of defense in depth. Detonate that tech first, because you might as well. Got a minute 20. Shit. I cannot get over to him either right now. Oh, this thing is sitting here. Situation's handled. Yeah, I'm not sure what that radial effect is coming off of him. It's either damage or healing. I thought it was damage, but at the same time, I think it might actually be healing, or like shield restoration. Although that may have been a drone or something. I know his drone will restore shields. That may very well have been what I was seeing and just attributing it to that. It's 17 seconds left. I'm just gonna come up that walkway. One of the other nice things about playing the Geth Juggernaut, which I'm looking forward to, is that you can actually see over a lot of things that everybody else thinks is obstructive cover. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying, and have a good one. Thank you for watching.